Kenyan President William Ruto demands respect for African leaders after US-Africa Summit Group meetings with Biden and Blinken. Says they are often mistreated and treated like school kids by other world leaders. President William Ruto has emphasized that African leaders should be respected on the global stage and not to be treated as children by world leaders. President Ruto stressed that African leaders are elected by their people and deserve the same level of respect as leaders from any other part of the world. Listen to his speech.
We have also decided that it will not going to be business as usual. We have these meetings, Africa, US meeting, Africa, Europe, Africa, Turkey, Africa,
India.
Now we are waiting for, there is another one, Africa, Russia.
And Africa, Japan.
And Africa, Japan. We have made the decision that it is not intelligent for 54 of us to go and sit before one gentleman from another place. And sometimes we are mistreated.
Yeah.
You know, we are loaded into buses like school kids. You know, and it's not right.
Well, you are summoned, you know.
African countries may have African presidents, prime ministers, and parliaments, but most of these countries are not under African control. Africa is largely controlled by Western governments and foreign corporations. European countries understood back in the 19th century that Africa possesses enormous natural resources of inestimable value. This one continent has gold, oil, coltan, uranium, chromium, bauxite, diamonds, and numerous other valuable minerals. By 1885, European countries had resolved to colonize and dominate African countries in order to gain full access to the continent's wealth. African resistance to colonialism was protracted and fierce. By the end of the 20th century, this resistance had succeeded in driving European governments out of Africa and leaving African countries nominally independent. However, this independence was illusory. Unwilling to surrender access to the valuable natural resources of Africa, imperialists devised a new form of colonialism that to all appearances was not colonialism at all. This new form of colonialism, or neo-colonialism, relies heavily on the betrayal of Africa's people by Africans, who by one means or another control the reins of African governments. Some of these African neo-colonial heads of states are vicious dictators like Mobutu Sese Seko of Congo, who during his tyrannical tenure stole much of the country's treasury and had innumerable people killed. The US and Western Europe turned a blind eye to his crimes for many years because he allowed foreign interests to steal and exploit Congo's resources. There are still other African neo-colonial government officials who mean well, but they are constrained and directed by a well-organized system of imperialism. Even these well-meaning government officials are bound to carry out the agenda of their puppet masters in the US and Europe. Until the economic power of Africa is in our hands, our leaders will continue to be summoned like kids. Unite we must. We can forge a political union based on defense, foreign affairs, and diplomacy, and a common citizenship, an African currency, an African monetary zone, and an African central bank. We must unite in order to achieve the full liberation of our continent. We need a common defense system with African high command to ensure the stability and security of Africa. We have been charged with this sacred task by our own people, and we cannot betray their trust by failing them. We will be mocking the hopes of our own people if we show the slightest hesitation or delay in tackling realistically this question of African unity. We need unified economic planning for Africa. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel so YouTube can share this video with more people like you. Until next time, cheers. Have a good one.